Miss, I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today for our mentor hour.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Uh, so for everyone here who's joining, I think we said we just wait for everyone to stroll in. Emine here is an Ignite expert mentor. And so today what we're going to see is a session from her um, dedicated for Ignite startups. Now, sorry, I think that's just someone joined. Yeah, so I was saying M&A is going to talk to us about how to take your startup from a startup to a scale up and understanding startup growth, scalability. M&A is a CEO and adjunct professor. She was at Accelerate EMEA. And so I'm happy to hand over the floor to you, M&A, and feel free to take over and get started.
Oh, thank you very much. It's my
No worries.
pleasure, Ramis. I share my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep, all clear.
Perfect. Okay, I guess we can start. My name is Emine. I'm experienced in corporate environment like 15 years. I also started my own startups in three different areas. One of them almost about 10 years ago, and actually it was not mine, it was my sister, and she failed spectacularly in e-commerce area because we didn't have experience. Now, after 10 years, I learned a lot from startups because I started mentoring startups 10 years ago when I was working General Electric. We were building a PaaS, platform as a service, Predix. Maybe many of you know that platform. And I started mentoring from that time for IoT and machine learning startups, and I'm still globally mentoring startups. And I'm very proud member of Ignite, which is the Dubai's UAE government initiative. So we will start startups to scale up, but let me start with a story with MySpace, rise and fall. I believe many of you already know this story, but it was 2004. MySpace was a very popular platform as a social network, and it reached 1 million user in first month. This is spectacular because 1 million user in first month, when we compare which company, Facebook, disrupted MySpace, reached first year, 1 million user by the end of its first year. So this is something that we need to compare. When we see startups coming and we had big, large number of power in terms of financial capital, user acceptance and adoption, even 1 million user in first month, and 5 years later it has 100 million users, and Facebook still will able to disrupt this company. Why? What happened? Because if you have 100 million users, you have capital, investors, and mentors, advisor behind you. What happened that you really disrupted by this new company who are run by a university student, even college dropout, and disrupted you? So we have some lessons here. First of all, when we scale up is important if we scale and grow, but how to maintain, how to sustainably scale and grow is more important than scaling fast. Also, how to start as a startup small when you have big company as a competitor in the market, and how to disrupt it, or even without disrupting, maybe you can grow like Amazon, becoming large ecosystem, digital ecosystem. Here, one term, it's a theory, disruption theory, where actually we can say if we focus the power of the people who are unseen or underestimated, and their untapped power is potential is there, somebody will come, take this individuals, the social groups, and they will start growing and scaling step by step. So this is the disruptive technology. As you see in the light blue area here, we have low quality and underserved customer, which the dominant power already underestimated this. Why it is underestimating? Because it's not cost efficient. It's not profitable for the dominant power to serve this underserved customer. But it is really very cost efficient and it is profitable for disruptive technology who are startups starting from the underserved area, choosing their niche, targeting their customer wisely, and start growing step by step to disrupt the dominant power. We have disruption theory explained here, but I don't want to go deep in here because we need to start. Everything starts as a startup. All the companies that you see today, Uber, Facebook, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Airbnb, Airbus, every company started as a startup. But some already started a startup and they become a scale up and scaler, and we are still seeing them in the market. They are dominant power now. They disrupted many industries. What are the specific reasons or strategies, powerful strategies that enable them to become from startup to scale up and scaler and dominant power in the market? So what is scale up? It is OECD definition that annual rate of growth at the annual rate of 20%, moreover, 3 consecutive years of time. But we don't want to go these details. If you're a small business or scaling startups, what kind of features that we need? First of all, if we're a small business, we need to target local niche. If we are scaling, we need to go to global. In the revenue model, we will be steady, linear, simple revenue models. When we become scale up, we will targeting exponential growth. So we need to make many revenue streams. So we need to change and evolve, innovate our revenue model. Customer acquisition in the small business, in small startup, it's word of mouth, where you target your local business, your niche market, and serving that people very effectively and making them love you. Nobody else comes and takes those customers from you because they really love you. They stick to your platform or product, whatever you're serving. When we become scale ups, it is digital marketing and network effects is more important than your serving your niche market. But again, we need to keep in mind that there is Pareto principle. 20% of your customers create or generate 80% of your income. So we need to separate this. When in terms of technology adoptions in the small business, it's gradual, but scale-up startups, they need to invest heavily in innovation, finding a new product, new service, new market to continue growth. Okay, we have some challenges in different stages. For example, if you are in the startup stage, finding niche market or scalable business model could be a challenge. If you are in the scale-up stage, achieving exponential growth, of course, market expansion, this is global expansion, could be a challenge. If you are scale-up stage, it is sustaining market leadership and growth. Remember the story of MySpace, how they are disrupted even when they have 100 million users. So this is important story and lessons there. Of course, challenges in transition when we are transitioning from startup to scale up and scalers, we have some transition challenges, which is some of them internal, some of them external. When we talk about internal challenges, we can talk about our capital. This could be financial capital. This could be our resource, talent, and skills. This could be our cultural differences and cultural nuances, how we are managing challenges and changes. Also, leadership skills, because we need different mindset when we are managing startups, scale-ups or scalers, and when we become big conglomerate, big company, we need different mindset and different leadership skills. That's why many leaders start with experience or they have advisor if they are starting from young age.
Hey, Emine, sorry to interrupt. I just had a quick request from someone in the chat. Could you please increase the size of your presentation? They're having trouble seeing it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Sorry for that.
no worries.
Could go on presenter mode, I guess. That'll be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
perfect.
Fantastic.
Is this better?
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. I didn't see the chat, sorry. Thank you for reminding me. So this was the disruption theory we talk about, and disruption theory explained here, you may look at later. And everybody started as a startup and how they managed this challenge and transition during the journey. So we have, of course, focus area when we are in the startup stage, which is finding and validating the niche market, MVP testing, partnership, and lean operations. And when we are in the scale up, of course, exponential growth here is very important. And when we become scaler, market leadership and sustaining that growth and scale. These are some detailed explanation. I will move from here. This is the levers to growth strategy. First, we start with the market penetration. We need to enhance existing market share by reaching more customer within current markets, which is you'll identify your niche market and target your customer, core customer, and you start serving them, understanding their needs and serving their problem in the best way. Geographical expansion, because you're starting now growing and you need to expand. This geographical expansion could be your neighborhood, could be your city, could be your nation, country, larger level region like MENA region, and then you can go global. And during this journey, you need to add new additional products, new offering, introduce new systems. Think about each step here, we need to correlate with the existing one. For example, Uber. It is started with taxi ride, right? Now we have many places in Uber. Its offering is changing because now it's scaler. They have some volume of scale, optimum level, and they need to offer new product to their existing customer. Also, they need to acquire new customer during the journey to not become the stagnant. Third-party strategic partnership is the key. Remember when Microsoft did this partnership with IBM, it was the dynamite pushing power behind Microsoft becoming this kind of big and large company. And of course, strategic M&A and omnichannel platforms will power your scaling process. Okay, from niche to dominance, we love Apple example here because Apple started from niche and it is now dominant, but their strategy is very minimal. Even their advertisements are very minimal, and they are never ever show their product in the advertisement. This is Steve Jobs' strategy, and Steve Jobs was spending 3 hours every Wednesday afternoon with its marketing advisor. Why? This 3 hours every week, isn't that too much? No, it is not, because understanding human psychology, your target audience psychology is much more important than your breakthrough idea or super efficient cutting edge technology platform. Because if your customer or user target audience cannot like or not adopt your platform, you're done, dead. Apple would be dead for now. That's why he was very aware of the psychology of human being, how to stick to their mind, their life, and creating lifestyle, very minimalistic and simple environment. He worked every Wednesday afternoon, 3 hours with marketing advisor. From niche to dominance, okay, what we need here, of course, ecosystem integration. Almost all niche are interconnected through Apple's ecosystem, ensuring user loyalty. So if you have iPhone or AirPod or Apple Watch or Apple TV or smartwatch, these all are connected. So privacy and security is very important. That's why Apple is closed source systems and premium pricing model. Why? Because Apple users or Apple audience willing to pay more when you compare to other device users. That's the premium pricing model. And sustainability effort, of course, Apple, this is one of the biggest thing in today's world. We need to very focus on the mega trends, which, for example, United Nations SDG goals, you need to compare your product or service. One of the 17 SDG goals may be aligning with your vision, product, and service, and you need to embed this into your product to claim that your sustainability effort is really power behind your innovation. This is innovation in Apple. This is key product, their niche market and category. If you look at it, started with personal computing, then music and media, iPod, iTunes, mobile and smartphones, tablets, wearables, watch, which is health conscious products. Fintech, we have Apple Pay in our phones, and entertainment, Apple TV. They have digital services. They have Apple Store, which is very important and fantastic. We can talk on the Apple Store design, how it is aligned with their strategy in 2 hours. It is not enough because they design it such a temple way. What I mean by temple, because it has high ceiling, very simple. Everything is your on eyesight, not up and or down. So you feel like you are in some stores, very lean, simple, but also high quality. They have so many other, of course, innovation. Marketing, yes, we talk. I will skip this one. What is niche market then? How you can find niche market? Can you find something like you can become like an Apple, or you can become like an Amazon, starting from online bookstore? Even nobody was thinking book can be sold online. And somebody else like Facebook, you start with the Harvard University students only, or a very small niche, and then you can extend other universities, and then extend high school, and then extend all open public, and become the largest social media platform. How you can define your niche? The first and foremost, you need to understand your core competencies. What I am expert on, what kind of value my expertise can bring, or whatever the group of people, let's say you have 3 friends, 4 friends, what are each one of you have core competencies. And when they become together, what kind of value that you can create for the broader audience. A niche market defined as a focus segment on audience within a broader market. Most of them, these segments are underserved or ignored. We talk about this one, for example, vegan women clothing or maternity wear. It was not so many in 10 years, 20 years ago. Benefits of niche strategy. So, of course, we have a couple of benefits here. First one, increased profitability because higher profit margins compared to catering a broader audience with diverse needs. Always keep in mind the MySpace example with 100 million users globally, and it's how it is disrupted by only Harvard University student-specific social platform. So this is very, very important example. That's why I prepared put in the beginning of this presentation. When you have niche market, you can streamline your organization and operation because you know your target audience needs and you know your product, how to serve them. This is very streamlined, very lean operation process. It will be cost-effective marketing because niche market campaigns are often more targeted and cost-effective. And you can specialize in a niche. You can develop deeper expertise, and you can become thought leader on this niche that everybody will start talking about you. Like in the Harvard University, when Facebook set up, every student was skipping the classes. They were spending time in the Facebook and they were commenting, it is such a cool platform. So when you become expert in this area, very well known, so people start talking about you. Of course, reducing competition, reducing recognized as an expert in a niche market, a competitive advantage for you, and everybody start talking about you, your expertise, your platform. And if you're thinking big competitors, they will bother what's happening here. Most of the time, big competitors, big conglomerate companies, I'm coming from big companies, they don't bother if somebody starts small in one of the accelerator or incubator because they don't see it's a risk. Because when you think about the startups failure risk, 80%, 85% of startup failing, so they don't see this as very specific and significant risk to them. That's why they're not so bothering. If they bother in the future, they have some strategies. Of course, corporate has strategies. They can do merger and acquisition, and they can acquire the company as a startup. And you will become better and better solving problem because you will be digging deeper on this niche, digging and understanding every customer. Let's say these are women maternity wear, and you understand all the pregnant women needs, what they need, and you're becoming expert. And those female groups, they are already start sharing your products and services, how perfect you are, how quality, how it's organic, let's say. So these are important, becoming as a thought leader and very well-known brand in one niche. And then it's time to skip that part and extend your product. For example, now after maternity leave wear, you can join another niche, which is newborn baby clothes, organic clothes, let's say, or vegan newborn baby clothes. These are the starting points to expanding your niche from one niche to another niche. But very important point here we need to keep in mind when we are adding another niche to our portfolio, those niches should be connected, should be mentally in your user mind, they should connect these 2, 3, 4, whatever your niche market will be connected, serving the same strategy, serving the same purpose. It should be, and we have another failure in the Google. We will be talking there, and we will remember these connections and your user psychology connecting all the services. And when you become very well known and dominant on niche like Apple, you can now demand higher price. Okay, how to identify and serve the most profitable customer? Because when you identify your niche with your core competencies, with your team members, all the co-founders sit together and you described and identify one niche market. And then you start serving. How to serve them? How do you calculate profitability for each customer to understand which customer is really generating the most revenue for my company so I can serve them better? And tailor your business needs. Like in the airline industry is one of the best example here, because airline industry has loyalty programs. If you are one of the member of the loyalty program, you can upgrade your ticket. They can serve you pickup services. They can serve you better than any other regular customer. So you feel you are unique and you start connecting emotionally with this business and with this brand, most importantly. How to calculate? I don't want to go deep dive here, but average revenue per user calculation here. You can use total revenue in time frame and total number of user in your time frame. You can calculate this one by one for each and every user. Of course, I'm assuming that everybody using some CRM or business intelligence tool to do that. How to serve the best customer and why? Why we are choosing the best customers to serve them? Why airline business choosing their most frequent flyer and then giving them the specific and services? Here, the screenshot from Uber this year financial results. You see that the cost of incremental acquisition is 50% that of paid channels. If you have CRM internally, your expenditure will be 50% less than paid channels when you target your customer and the best customer if you serve more. Here it says 31% of delivered first trips comes from the mobility app and 22% of mobility first trips comes from delivery app. This is cross-selling and upselling. So if you started as a maternity leave wear for the pregnant women and you start serving newborn baby clothes, which means you will cross and upsell. This maternity leave wear customer, maternity wear customer will become newborn baby wear customer in time. So this is upsell, cross-sell. That's why you need to innovate in your business model. And here in the graphic, you see 3x and 0.4x. Again, this is Uber revenue from cross and upselling. If you see average multi-product consumer, which is the blue graphic, 3 times more than average single product consumer. So which means if you are a single product server, if you are producing on a single product, then you will be 1/3 of selling of your potential. You're wasting 2/3 of your potential. You have potential to sell if you have multi-product, because you can target your existing customer and you can add a new portfolio to your innovative business model, and you can acquire new customer as well. We have some example here, loyalty example for airlines, e-commerce, Amazon Prime members, for example, they have some advantage, and luxury good, Louis Vuitton, they have advantage. Ecosystem example, we have Uber, Spotify, Amazon again, and Google. Gmail user most likely to use Google Drive, Google Workplace, Google Calendar, Google Docs, and other platform. This is the process of how you can identify most profitable customer to grow faster. First of all, you need to identify which is lifetime value and customer acquisition cost to prepare and calculate profitability. Of course, you'll be analyzing their needs. You need to managing big data, spending patterns or frequency of purchase, cost to serve ratio. If you're a social platform, average time spent on that platform. And you need to deliver exceptional value to those 20% of your customer, because 80% of your profit coming from there. That's why you need to focus your energy to the best customer of yourself. We may think that, okay, reaching 100 million user is most important than having 10 million users. But if you reach 100 million user and you lost your best customer from the beginning, they adopted, they liked your platform, then that 100 million people will leave you anytime. So that's why it is important. And building an ecosystem around them, which creates synergy, complementary services like Airbus or airplane services, Emirates, that seamless experience you need to provide them. Like, for example, Emirates premium customers, frequent flyer premium customers, will be picked up from their house. They don't need to take a taxi to go to the airport, right? And monitoring and optimizing the relationship and also your internal operation and organization. Then scale, leveraging profitable customers, upselling and cross-selling, becoming higher tier products or add-on and referral programs. Then we can add much more profitable metrics to this. Okay, how to serve your customer, best customer. We already talked this one. I want to skip this. Personalized experience, tailoring offering like airline business. Invest in loyalty program, reward and repeat. You can create an ecosystem, building service that complementary each other, locking in customer. We will have an example for this one. And exceptional support, customer success. High value customer, you need to have exceptional support. They need to be sure that you are really caring about them. And monitoring and adapting the changes in market, in behavior, and etc. So this is another, what is alternative to niche strategy? Because we said niche strategy is much more important, starting small, becoming expert on this area, and serving your best customer in the best way to scale, and scaling in business model, innovating in business model, adding new portfolio to your service and product. But is niche strategy the only one? Maybe we have another strategy. Before moving further, this is an example here. You see Facebook is the most popular social media worldwide. This is April 2024 metrics. YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, and it's going until the Pinterest. Of course, if this is more popular, which is creating more return on investment. So, which means most of the marketing people, professional or companies, using those platforms because return on investment is higher. When you have big universe, your return will be bigger. Then alternative what is the alternative to niche strategy? It is attack the core strategy. Let's think about your small startup and you want to become a Tesla or you want to become Amazon, and you are targeting all the Amazon products and services. You're selling book, you're selling households, you're selling everything, bags, whatever, fashion items, and you're trying to provide all the service that Amazon did, Alexa, AWS. Is it successful strategy as a small startup business? This is the example. It's proving that it is not. Whoever as a startup target attacking the core strategy of one of the existing company, big company, they are almost all the time failed. So G Plus was building, here in the orange box, you'll see that G Plus, so Google Plus, vision statements 2011. It says, today, the connection between people increasingly happen online, yet the substance of real-world interactions are lost in the rigidness of our online tools. In this basic human way, online sharing is awkward, even broken, and we aim to fix it. So Google Plus saying Facebook is awkward and broken, it's not in human way, and they are here to fix this in 2011, when Facebook has millions users, hundreds of million users globally. So Logic launched an initial growth. You'll see it's launched in 2011. In 1 week, it's gained 10 million users. But Facebook in 10 months, it's reached only 1 million users. Then you can expect that if in 1 week, Google Plus, you reach 10 million users, maybe it's disrupting Facebook, right? Because Facebook in 10 months reached only 1 million users. So this is something that really we need to think about. But by the end of 2012, it had 90 million users, which means it's almost 1 year they reach 90 million users. But in 2009, Facebook had 300 million active users globally. How does Google Plus acquired customer or user that much quick? There were some strategies Google that used which really annoyed the customer, because Google relied on Google ecosystem, which is a search engine. They forced sign up for accessing service like YouTube, because Google purchased YouTube. And throughout the YouTube, if you want to comment on YouTube videos, you have to sign up Google Plus, which is mean forced membership, this 90 million people. Most of the user join out of curiosity, and then later they lost their genuine interest. They didn't find same experience that the Facebook giving them. So that's why it is failed and it is closed. So which means attacking a core strategy is not an alternative, best alternative, let's say, to niche strategy. So we can't do this. So officially in 2009, April, Google Plus has been closed. But today, Facebook has over 3.2 billion active users, and they acquired WhatsApp and Instagram. Even in some of the newspaper, Forbes and Yahoo Finance was mentioning at this state, it is a wrong strategy to attacking a core strategy. Okay, so we need to create our niche market. We need to serve our best customers. And we understand that attacking the core strategy is not a good strategy. We need to acquire the niche strategy. And the 3 is roadmap to digital ecosystem. Building digital ecosystem that companies, there's a statistic that drive 50% or more of their revenue from digital products and services compared to other industry players. So if you're a digital platform, you have 50% more revenue potential from digital products. Revenue growth is 27% higher and profitability is 20% higher according to MIT University. Ecosystem roadmap, how you can create ecosystem. Write down the revenue percentage of your current business for these 4 business models. We have 4 business models. We will come to there. And set a 5-year target revenue percentage. List the actions that you need to take to achieve these targets. You have 3 steps to become ecosystem. You want to target revenue percentage, and we have 4 different business models for the digital ecosystem. For all 4 of these, each one of them, you need to have revenue percentage that you want to achieve. You have to set a 5-year target revenue percentage and list the action step that you need to take to achieve those spends. Okay, let's see. Digital strategy, digital business model, and competition. So you need to identify your battlefield. You need to define your battlefield, where you are fighting, what kind of digital strategy you can create. The first one, you can build collaboration between different industries. This is one of the example, a collaboration between MasterCard, Pizza Hut, and SoftBank. Is there any relation among them, MasterCard and Pizza Hut, maybe payment and SoftBank technology, and they built Pepper. So together, this robot, Pepper, interacts with customer by helping them choose the item for Pizza Hut's menu, taking their orders, and processing payment online. This robot is essentially designed to improve the customer experience by integrating technology into the food service industry. So these 3 companies come together. They build one robot. They call it Pepper because it was for Pizza Hut, so name is relevant. They were helping the customer choose the items on the pizza. If you want to exclude mushroom, yeah, let's say Pepper to exclude it. And taking their orders, processing payments, and sending it to the delivery department. So this is the digital transformation, and this is competitive strategy and customer-centric innovation. So what customer wants, you're really caring them, you're helping them, you're decreasing the time they're spending on your platform, trying to set the menu, choose the items, and giving the order. Some robots really helping you in an engaging manner, which is you're feeling that you're engaged, you're not bored in this platform. Companies are increasingly competing through technological advancements such as AI, robotics, and automation. By introducing Pepper, these companies aim to stay ahead in competitive market by offering seamless, innovative customer experience. So seamless, innovative customer experience is a competitive advantage that we need to have if we want to grow faster and serving our best customers in a best way. Cross-industry collaboration, this is again another digital business model. The partnership between these 3 companies create value, and it's drive innovation, and it's create good sense in the customer perspective. It's customer-centric and strategic positioning. This is important because strategically position the business where their focus, resource, and efforts, their battlefield, where it is through product innovation, customer experience, or operational efficiency. If we want to build digital platform, there's 5 questions that we need to ask ourselves. First one is, can I attract large user base? This can be achieved in 2 months or more than 2 months. Leveraging your business existing user base and directing them to platform like AdWords or AdSense. Utilizing public available data or packaging existing data for use. I don't know if everybody heard about Zillow's steps. Zillow steps basically means you're packaging existing data, you're sourcing internet, you're finding the data, you're designing that data and attracting new users, that new user also generating data, and then you are selling the compound data, user-generated data back to the market. So most of the research companies using this, most of the real estate companies using this, because real estate company, they have platform. You're entering your data about your house when you're searching or when you're listing your house. They're collecting all these data from neighborhood or globally, and then they are packaging those data. They're interacting with you. You're creating new data because you're always entering your information, and then they're packing and selling to the market. This is the low steps. Then you need to think about if you can apply this low steps into your business. You can pack this data, you can sell it to the market again. For example, some of the companies in MENA region, this is global, but I want to give an example from the MENA. VC companies or some research companies doing research about the startups, early stage, scalers, and scale-ups, their situation, their market, their niche, their customers, their strength. They're analyzing this. They're creating charts and reports, and they're selling to the market. They're applying Zillow steps. The second one, if I can't reach large use base, if I can't reach, like, if I'm not a real estate company or venture capitalist or research company, if I cannot reach that large data set or user base, can I offer value? This is the question, because not every company has this large data set. They can apply Zillow steps. What value you can offer? Then you need to focus on niche markets, localized reviews and services like Yelp did, building or identifying social groups like Zynga did with social gaming. So these are the niche strategies. And the third one, how do I gain the trust of my customer, which is the most important one? Okay, Pareto principle again, because 20% serving your 80% of the revenue. Then you need to highlight the champions who are using your platform. Who is your best customer, best advocator? You need to choose them. If you find influencer in your area, you reach out them, or the business, you need to reach out them to advocate your product to their audiences. Okay, how should my customer pay and how much? There are different business model here. You can do this pay-as-you-go model, create user offers, promotions, or campaigns to attract and retain users. For example, Lyft here uses promotions benefiting both drivers and riders. So this is another example. They are giving 20% off riders and drivers if they suggest and promote their platform. If you're building something here, I want to add one more example, because how should my customer pay and how much? So you can reach out you need to follow your customer. Who is serving your customer? Of course, not directly your product, but some other product. If I'm purchasing water and you're selling water, somebody else should be selling me bread. Who is selling? So you need to reach out those business who are serving your customers, and you need to do this partnership among yourself. I'm selling water, you're selling bread, other one selling cheese. Let's come together and then create one bundle, great product to serve them. So this is something that you can, if you have one user in your water customer in that stores, one in bread and one in cheese, then you will have more customer from bread sellers and cheese sellers. This is the basic of partnership among startups and business. Of course, can I integrate with or be compatible with existing systems? Avoid starting everything from scratch. That's the basic. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Connect your existing system to leverage prior investment and facilitate easier adoption for users. So ecosystem. These are the 4 business models that you want to build your 5-year strategy. So how many percentage for these or 4 areas in 5 years time, and steps, how do you want to achieve them? Preparation, there's 2 steps here. Enhancing customer interaction to better understand customer, and focusing on becoming an ecosystem. Why we are trying to become ecosystem. This is the purple arrow. You see it start from the supplier and it's going through the ecosystem. So ecosystem is branded platform. Customer experience is the first here. Third-party applications and service. It is a big data meeting point for suppliers, customers, and all the ecosystem players. For example, Amazon is an ecosystem, right? But it starts with the supplier, because when you're a supplier, your customer information, you don't have all the information related to your customer, so which means you can't have big data. And on the horizontal axis, this is the business model design. So, for example, in the supplier part, P&G or insurance sellers, resellers, in this part, selling products and services of other companies, potential loss of power because you are selling other companies' services, low cost and ability to provide customer service because you're selling insurance, you're insurance sellers, and you're selling 5 different insurance products, not yours, someone else's product and services. So manufacturing brands, P&G and insurance sellers in this area, you have half of, not half maybe, but not whole customer data and value chain process. When you become omnichannel business model, you have almost all of the customer data, so you can reach the big data, master of customer relationship, end-to-end customer experience, integrated value chain. Banks and retailers, because when you go to bank, they took every information that you have. Also retailers, they have information. When you come and business model design, you have modular producers, which is selectable products and services. This could be like SaaS products or PayPal in this category, continuous product and service development. But when you become ecosystem is the optimum solutions marketplace in the business model, this 4 different business model, because you have all the customer data, big data, and your business model is optimized and you are managing network. So this is the best profitable and sustainable business model in the digital ecosystem. To acting like an ecosystem, you need to focus on becoming the first choice. Amazon, first choice for book, first choice for other things, first choice for cloud-based system, right? Excel, the establishing business partnership, you need to be partner with different companies and develop service-based and digitally deliverable business models. You can provide them directly or offer API libraries. Prioritize adaptability and efficiency process. This will make you the preferred choice. So these are the checklists. You can access large customer database, your value proposition, add features and platform that create real value for user, reduce user risk because offer clear pricing model, provide promotions, offers, and incentivize user because you have the ecosystem, you can upsell, cross-sell, and even do partnership with other companies. Leverage existing tools like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. But if you don't have digital platform, this is one of the very important example, JetBlue. It uses Twitter, X, now its name is X, for customer support, allowing customers to interact even when they are not traveling. So their customer interacting using JetBlue's X account to interact with JetBlue, they're sharing. And engage champions, reward influential users or brand using platform or amplifies its appeal. How can build your digital platform? Think about your company now. How can you build your digital platform? Because this is important. This is the ultimate focus target that we want to become digital ecosystem like Amazon did. You can partner or you can invest. So this is the partnership example again, General Motors, Lyft and Cruise. They become together and they shared mobility services. The collaboration integrates transportation with digital platforms to drive innovation. Use existing tools, platform examples. For example, JetBlue use X Twitter account to interact with their customers. That you can use Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook, and other social platforms to user interaction. You can create channel through this social platform. Collaborative communication. Create cost-effective and brand-enhancing accessibility to network members without requiring additional system or barriers. So you need to streamline that reaching out to you very simple. It couldn't be so complex. Or you can build yourself, because if you don't partner, if you don't use existing tools, and you have so much money, then you can build your own platform like GE did Predix. It failed partially, but it was enormous platform work for the industrial player, bringing everything together. Think about GE and its business. I was working there almost 12 years ago. So they have healthcare business in almost every country, and all the hospitals, all the health organizations using devices, so GE devices. Think about all the healthcare service provider, like physicians, nurse, and service takers like customers, clients, or patients. These are, if you think about GE Aviation, all the airplanes, engines, its suppliers, too many suppliers, GE not building every part, spare part for the engine. So let's think about other energy business, GE Wind, GE Transportation, GE Oil and Gas. How big that industrial platform. It's failed partially because of corporate innovation management. It's quite different than the startup management. Always there is a risk when you are in the corporate, when you're trying to build it yourself, there are huge less risk. Of course, we are learning from the failures a lot. That's important point. But again, GE Predix was enormous, and I believe it was very impressive platform. And still it is. Okay, practical application, how we can apply, leverage user content, like GoPro example. You can see on Instagram. Engage its community and enhance brand visibility. User-generated photos and videos you can share. So you can open your platform to your users. Let's say you are producer of smart camera. You can post, enable your customer to post their pictures that they've taken with your camera. And value creation, of course, build or invest in platforms that deliver value and innovation to your customer, whether through partnership, integrations, or independent development. Where there is no continuous innovation, there is no success. You can grow on some time, but after that time, and when you reach the optimal value, optimal market, and then you start declining. So that's why continuous innovation is very important. That's why those big companies who are started as a startup is having that innovation culture. They're always innovating, building new business model, building new business partnership with different industries, building new offering for their customers. Okay, ecosystem opportunities. Think about your market, whatever market you're in. You may be creating AI agent in healthcare. You may be creating something, RPA, robotic process automator for manufacturing, or you're building something else in the service industry. What could be the new ecosystem in your industry? For example, in healthcare, can you create an ecosystem like Amazon did? Or in banking? Or something else? Let's think about. This is Amazon ecosystem example. Its core components, of course, it started as e-commerce, as an online retail platform, basically starts selling with books. And Amazon Web Services, this cloud computing platform, provides technological infrastructure and the powers of many Amazon services. And it's also service to external business because it's open API. Prime subscription, digital content, physical stores. They open physical stores as well. They have devices like Alexa, Echo, Fire, tablets. Also, they have spectacularly failed in Fire phones, mobile phones. And Jeff Bezos always referred to that failure. And Alexa they have. And their device is interconnected. You can ask Alexa to create your shopping list. When you order something from Amazon, Alexa remind you your delivery is maybe tomorrow or what time of the delivery, right? It has cross promotion services like Alexa promote other Amazon products and services. Data synergy, information gathered from one services can be used to improve others, enhancing the overall customer experience. And for example, if you ask something, Alexa, my daughter, sometimes I'm asking Alexa, hey, tell me about this one. And then when you open Amazon, because it's connected to my account, I see that product in front of me. This is optimization of the data. This is Amazon innovation. Start with book and still continue. How to prepare an ecosystem strategy. This is Nestle example, and it's very important because Nespresso, they build, innovate Nespresso capsules, and they patent it. If you're building something from the scratch and it's new, you had to patent before somebody copy and patent it. That's very important. Nestle did this one first thing, they patent their Nespresso capsules. And naturally, coffee machine manufacturers could not copy Nespresso because it's patented already. And Nestle created a centralized ecosystem for itself by granting the necessary permissions to some few of them, the coffee machine manufacturers, to manufacture those Nespresso capsules. And they set the standards, quality standards. This Nespresso ecosystem shows how companies can create long-term competitive advantage. When you see that these are the Nestle's financial return, and they are gaining most of the returns from this patent Nespresso capsule. Let's think about they didn't patent it and it's just open source and everybody start using it, then they wouldn't have that much profit or value, return value from this product, right? Protecting intellectual property is important. Also, when you patent, it's important in the broader view, macro view, because economies and nationwide and countries wide depends on now export level of technology and knowledge. How much technology you are exporting, how much knowledge you're exporting is one of the key performance indicator in the global innovation index. So if we want to upgrade our country to upper level, which we need to create more patents, more technology. We need to start exporting those technologies in the regional wide, in MENA, in South Asia, everywhere. So in Europe. So this will increase our innovation index level, but also it will increase ecosystem that we will be creating and generating more successful startups in the future. Protecting intellectual property is important. And second, building partnerships strategically, because Nestle built partnership with the coffee machine manufacturer like DeLonghi. It was strategic partnership. And providing consistent value to the customer. Of course, they make sure that the quality of the Nespresso capsule will be perfect. And innovating to meet evolving customer expectation. Always they start innovating to meet the customer expectation. There's some lessons from Nestle's ecosystem strategy, because the first one, control the core element, right? You cannot give permission everybody to build your coffee Nespresso capsules, and create lock-in effect. The ecosystem is incentivize customers to stay within by offering exclusive benefits, creating a lock-in effect. One of the example is Apple. Apple products all connected each other. If you're Apple Macintosh user, you have phone, you have smartwatch and other device, iPad, all connected. This is a lock-in effect, which make you harder to leave this ecosystem and go choose another ecosystem and adapt to that ecosystem. So if you have that power, create lock-in. Collaborative within strategic partners, to collaborate with strategic partners. So selective. Nestle selects like DeLonghi and other Five coffee machine manufacturers and evolve with customer trends. Nestle adapted its ecosystem by integrating sustainability and direct to customer service, ensuring relevance in changing market. So they started this capsules now is ecological. They can dissolve in the nature. So this is another footstep they took. I will skip this Nestle. We already talked about it. Financial growth, okay, that's important. And real internal growth, I want to mention here. Why? Because real internal growth is different than your growth impacted by price, right? Your growth internally, it's sales volume, but not impacted by the pricing changes. If you increase price, it's not organic growth, right? It's price impact organic growth. So that's important point when we are calculating in financial part, how we evaluating our metrics, key performance indicator by calculating organic growth. Okay, I'll skip Nestle is March. Uber, again, this is another ecosystem. Let's take here very shortly. I'll skip this one too. And Uber ecosystem, we already talked, but cost efficiency in customer acquisition, another important part. We already talked these graphic, how you can diversify your customers and serve them different product is important. Airbnb, when you look at Airbnb in this slide, what does it mean? Only Airbnb, is that meaning? Is that something that you can drag like insight? Market cap 85 billion, earning per share, price to ratio as of January 2025. It's very new, and stock price is $135 per stock, and 8 million properties worldwide. When you look at a company standalone like this, it may not meaningful or say something more. When we compare it other industry player, traditional model, let's compare Airbnb with Accor Hotels, then we will see the difference here because Accor Hotels in this market for many years. Airbnb is quite new, and let's compare here on the black box the market value. Airbnb is 84 billion, while Accor Hotels almost 12 billion. It's euro, let's say $13 billion. So can you see the difference? 84 to 13. How many times larger Airbnb? Why? What kind of metrics impact Airbnb's value when you compare to Accor Hotel? The first one is scalability. What does it mean, scalability? Scalable means you can gain revenue when you compare to cost increase marginally, very limited amount, even it's close to zero when your revenues start growing very fast. Think about Airbnb. If Airbnb want to expand in some country, what they need to do? Open one office, hire one people. Is that enough? Yeah, license, company license, and some regulations, adaptations. But think about other hotel business in traditional model. What they need to do? They need to rent a building or build a building. They need to refurbish it. They need to internally design it. They need to hire many people, and they need to do agreement with the many stakeholders in the room cleaning, to the concierge or to the food services. Too many cost elements. Never ever they can get close to marginal cost, like minimal amount of increase while the revenue increasing exponentially. So that's why we need to compare our business and the traditional, or we need to compare our company with relative other competitor in the same industry to understand how we are doing, how we are really performing in this financial level. Even Accor Hotel has almost 300,000 employee. Airbnb has around 10,000 employee. Now we need to talk about a little bit experience. Oh, we already exceed the time, but bear with me, it's almost finishing. Experience is important. This people, Orhan Etzioni was the professor at the university, and they built almost seven company, and he sold those companies to different big companies. One of them to eBay, other Microsoft, other Clear Forest, Netball. Why? Why he did this as a first-time founder? Because he had an experience and expertise in data science. He built predictive model and he sold it. So that's important as an experience. But then again, compare with somebody who doesn't have experience, like Mark Zuckerberg, who founded Facebook when he was a student, and how it's become big company. Sometimes experience is important, but when people don't have experience, it is hard to manage business level operation and collaboration partnership, also strategically building the companies. That's why those people working with so many mentors, advisors, and consultants, like I said, Steve Jobs was spending 3 hours every week with marketing, talking about marketing. So this is important to have. If you don't have experience, we need to surround ourselves with experienced people. When we are in the ecosystem like Ignite, which you are very lucky to have this ecosystem, because you can learn from peer-to-peer learning. You can learn from mentors. You can reach out people. They're really helpful to help you grow and scale. I'll move this. Okay, digital strategy, connect your business partner together. We talk about this one. I don't want to give more example. You can connect business partner again to create value. And while you're doing this, you don't have to pay the leadership role all the time. You can become one of the players like Cisco did. Because Cisco, what he did, he bring DHL, Caterpillar, and Airbus to create blockchain-based supply chain solution. So you don't have to be the leader like Amazon to build something valuable. You can be one of the player like Cisco did. Or you can buy an ecosystem if you have money. Okay, what will be the rule for the joining ecosystem? These are different parts. This is open or closed ecosystem. This is Nokia Symbian game and Nokia's failure study. I will go. Okay, key attributes for success. These three is never change throughout the journey of startup, even if it's starting early stage, growth stage, or scale up. Agility, quick response to change. If something happening in the market and tomorrow one company say they will be managed by AI agents and there will be no human being on that company, like it is BlackRock, let's say, how you can serve them? What's kind of agility, that adaptation that you need to do? Or another cutting edge technology come, not AI, not blockchain, not quantum computing, but something new. How you can adapt this one? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to deep dive their impact and read a lot? And how you can adapt? So align strategy with the company's business plan. What is your strategy? The core strategy, what you want to achieve, your vision. So you need to connect your vision with your strategy. But here, very important division or separation between strategy. Because if you have strategy just playing to participate, then somebody will come who wants to playing to win and win. So that's important point. And adaptability, again, keeping up with these latest tools and methodologies and applying your customer operation. I guess I'm done. If you have any question, I'm happy to help. Thank you for listening to me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your presentation, Emine. My key takeaway was, I'm a big fan of the Pareto or the 80-20 principle. So I like how you sort of integrated that into your presentation. If it's all right with you, we'll move on now to some questions from the audience.
Yeah.
For those watching, if you could please drop your questions in the chat, we'll answer them as we go along. I have our first question here from Ali Jawad, who's actually another mentor. So
Okay.
Ali asks that the question is how do I choose my niche and how do I know if my niche is the best for me? He gave an example saying he likes to help many different people, and that means many different niches, which by its definition, he's doing the wrong thing because targeting everyone means targeting no one.
Yeah.
So you have to focus your niche, and so how can you find that out?
Yeah, this question is really important because I gave an example for attacking the core strategy, like Google Plus did attacking the Facebook, accusing that it's broken, it's not good, and they are here to fix, and how they failed. And somebody starting small, like MySpace and Facebook. While MySpace had 100 million users, Facebook didn't have even one. It started as a small startup at the Harvard University, and they scale very fast. Why? Because niche strategy, you need to understand your ambition, your passion, but these are not enough, of course, your core competencies. And you need to choose very wisely that niche. If you see that niche, somebody is really heavily active, like in healthcare industry, but you are a biomedical engineer and you know how to, this genome and DNA and everything, you can build something only focusing some niche area to build that customer base at the beginning, because those customer base, where are they working? They're in the hospital, they're in the healthcare authorities, they're on the research institutes in universities, right? Then you have big chance to expand your partnership, reach out to them if somebody adopted you at the beginning, because your core competency is here. You are targeting DNA and finding some solution for some sickness, like let's say ADHD or any other sickness, and or critical sickness like cancer if it's related with your DNA and it's coming from your ancestors. So if you target this, if you solve this problem perfectly, and you will be adopted by the patient, but before patient, your customer here, who are they? Are they direct customers? Yes, you can go for the customers. Are they really doctors or practitioners working in the hospital? Okay, you need to reach them. If this is researcher that you need to collaborate to promote your solutions, then you need to go to research university and other research institutions. So these steps are really helpful to understand your niche.
Fantastic. We have another question from Keenan saying, people often want to scale quickly and without sacrifice. How can we manage expectations with the regular roadblocks in a startup journey?
So scaling fast. It is, again, some example from the journey, because when you scale fast, you need to make sure you have internal and external ecosystem ready for it. That's why all the companies like Amazon scaling, growing, scaling, growing, scaling, growing, reaching some incremental moment, and then start scaling on, but continuously innovating and testing those solutions internally. So if you scale so fast without being ready, it could be end up with a disaster. Because if your leadership, if your core competencies in the company, let's say structural, infrastructure, financially, governance, if those are not ready, it's not easy to supply your customers' demand, right? So that's why scaling fast is important, but as long as if you are ready for each step, when you do one exponential growth, go back and check what's needed here, what is the missing, what's the pain point. The most important part actually for the growing, checking the pain point. When we always focus on growth, okay, I acquire 100 million users, let's continue 200, 300, but what's happening in the back? What are my customers' pain point? Again, Jeff Bezos, one of the speech, he said, their most most of their innovations comes from their customers. Their listening customer. Voice of the customer is super important here. You need to hear what's the pain point before you again start innovating and scaling and focusing on the growth. Of course, growth always in our focus, but during the journey, you build up your team, you surround yourself with expertise. They will check when you are focusing still the core business growth. Some people, team that you trust, will be evaluating and cleaning the road, because without that one, all this mess will become a disaster for the company. Thank you. Do we have another question?
Sorry, I was muted. Ali is asking, how long should a startup be okay with not being profitable, just like how OpenAI is losing $3 billion every year?
If you compare OpenAI, this is and somebody really producing some other product here, let's say again, maternity clothes, it's important to understand the power behind those technologies. So we can't say we're a definitive time for any business, because each business are different. Their functioning, their financials, their strength and weakness are different. We need to deep dive and understand. But some core principles cannot change. If OpenAI is still losing $3 billion, but still valued $1 trillion, and still so many investors waiting on the queue to invest in, this is different story, because OpenAI building something, even it's a coincidental figuring out the generative AI, but they build something very valuable and tremendously fundamentally changing all the technology innovation ecosystem. Not only technology, it will change our lives. So that's why if we compare that OpenAI, okay, I can lose 100 million in 1 month, it's not the correct strategy to aligning our business, our core strengths. So we need to evaluate deeply in different ecosystems. So contextual intelligence here, very important.
So Ali Jawad, just back on the niching question, as in how to pick your niche, he asks, if does that mean my niche is the people I can solve their problems the best way? As in, he's asking, is that a niche?
Niche actually 3 components. Let's say 3 components, make it simple. Your ambition, passion, and your core competencies. Then you need to combine this. I'm ambitious for this. I'm passionate about this, and I have the skills and talent, my core competencies. So I need to look at the market first, the bigger market, the larger circle. Let's it's look like Tom, Som, and Sam, total addressable market and obtainable market. So you're looking for total available market, and you're trying to find one unique area on this neighborhood that you can solve with your competencies. That's the niche market.
Great. And one more question we have, how can I create an environment with my employees that is growth focused and focused on scaling?
Okay, internal and leadership. First of all, yeah, we have some KPIs to choose to check internal environment with your employee. Every employee should be competing each other in your business. If you have finance professional, yeah, that's great. If you have marketing professional, that's great. If you have product professional, that's great. And you are the leader as a CEO, you are doing everything, but also you are dragging for business partnership, marketing, and being visible in this area. So you need to evaluate that core KPIs of your team, and of course, train and educate yourself a lot.
Fantastic. Well, if there are no further questions, thank you so much, Emine. Just like to close the session. You've provided a lot of value here. And if anyone else from the audience would like to book a session with her and receive some more personalized value, you're more than welcome to book a 30-minute session with her on the Mentors on Ignite. As far as future events, we have coming up on the 30th of January, Pitch at the Hive FinTech Edition, which is featuring fintech startups as well as a panel of investors from ENBD, MasterCard, Nua Capital, Emine. If you could please join us as well, that'd be great. And we look forward to seeing everyone in future events as well as more involved within the Ignite community. Thank you so much for joining, everyone.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure. And see you soon.
See you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.